Hey everybody, it's me Stacey, licensed designer for Sizzix, Jacquard, and Couture Creation, here with our next Take Two Tuesday event where I take some of my product from these amazing companies and we do a technique-based easy make that's achievable by everybody. Now my July collection for Sizzix has launched. It launched July 1st and it is a nod to Christmas. We've been playing with it over the past several Take Two Tuesdays. So if this is your first time joining me, hey, I'm Stacey. It's very nice to meet you and I hope you enjoy this class. Please know that this is for retailers, it's for makers, and if you are a maker out there looking for a retailer who is carrying this product, well, look no further. Under the description of this class, I've listed several online retailers, brick and mortar retailers, and in fact, if you're joining me during the premiere of this class, which is always Tuesdays, 5 p.m. sunny California time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, we're live chatting right over there. Hello, live chat, and I will pin the two featured retailers this week for you so you can see maybe they're in your neck of the woods or have a website that you just want to visit. We encourage you to support all independent retailers out there. So today I'm going to go back to the die that I worked with last week. It is a Sizzix die. It's called Star Bright and I love it. It can go any way you want and can be used for so many other things besides Christmas. This is great for holiday in general, but it's great for 4th of July and it's great for celebration and it's great for birthday. And that's kind of the theme of my collection, a nod to Christmas, because most of the products I have designed for Sizzix for July are holiday themed with a little something that you're able to use throughout the remainder of the year. Isn't it wonderful when you buy an embossing folder that you can use for any of the holidays, spring, summer, winter, fall, birthday, anniversary, wedding, whatever it is that makes your heart happy, where it's an item that you can add to your collection and always go back to and use again and again, as opposed to perhaps something so specific that you buy it the one time and well, you're gonna have to wait till next Christmas to use it again. I try to give you more in my designs so that you can use them more often. Now today it is about Star Bright, and this is the die that I used last week when we did a kiss cut technique. Oh, that is my microfine glitter with Couture Creations. And if you want to know how I did this, so easy. Visit last week's Take Two Tuesday class. All the Take Two Tuesdays remain available so you can go back and watch them all. You can also find them at Sizzix.com. If you go to the Stacey Park Hub on Sizzix.com, scroll down, they always have the latest Take Two Tuesday for you to see. Now I'm dropping links for retailers and I'm getting ready to show you another way to do a simple design, a simple class. Oh, if you're a retailer, this would be a great, easy class for the holidays to get everybody in that holiday spirit. But also for you makers, another way to use a tool that you may already have in your crafty arsenal. Let me tilt down, let me get started for today. I'm so glad to be here with you. And again, I'm Stacey, licensed designer for Sizzix, Jacquard, and Couture Creations. Welcome to my Take Two Tuesday events where makers and retailers, they find each other, and that makes my heart happy. All right, let me tilt on down and we're gonna get started for today. All right, let me zoom on in. I am my own camera person, so if you're new, just bear with me. We are not super high tech here, but we managed to get the job done. Okay, so the tool I'm going to be working with today is the same tool I worked with last week. It is the Sizzix Crease Pad. Now, this isn't something that is sold with the machine, but I'll tell you, it's something you should have in your crafty arsenal. It is not something that you're going to reach for every single day, but when you need it, you need it. It is not expensive. Almost every independent retailer who carries Sizzix products will carry a crease pad, or can get it for you. They can special order it for you, and this is the standard size. It comes with 2 Mylar shims because everybody's machine is slightly different, and you may need a Mylar shim just to shim the crease pad up enough so that it hits the roller in just the right way. I haven't ever had to use these, but it's nice to know that I have them should I. The crease pad is black. This is mine. You can see it's loved, and this is the way it's going to look over time. Loved. We want our tools to be loved, but when you first get it, it's perfectly black, completely flat, and the SKU number is 655092. Now this crease pad is different than, let's say, a squishy and a knock-knock. Let's see if I've got a squishy and a knock-knock on my table here. I sure thought I did. Squishy, oh, right here. Hello, Stacey. Now you know they're not edited and not scripted. So squishy and knock-knock we use for an embossing feature if we're gonna do an embossing element. This is a knock-knock. It's actually a textured impression pad, but you can understand why I call it a knock-knock. This is a squishy, and you can understand why I call it a squishy. It's a silicone pad. These two are sold together. They're generally used as 2 peas in a pod, and they are different than a crease pad, which I call the thud pad. This is the thud pad because, well, it kind of thuds. It doesn't squishy and it doesn't knock-knock. So having both of these, this set and the crease pad in your crafty stash is a help. It allows you to do more techniques with dies than just die cutting. So today, I'm not gonna be using this one, my squishy and my knock-knock, but I wanted you to see the difference of what they are and understand that they do completely different things. And today I'm really gonna be working with specialty paper. So I've pulled over opulent paper. I've got opulent gold, I've got opulent silver. Opulent paper are paper packs by Sizzix that truly are just wonderful. Let's see if I can grab the gold. Really just wonderful. They are filled with specialty paper. They come with 10 sheets of each specialty. So you've got a mirror and a pearl and a metal and a satin and a glitter. And they come in gold and silver and charcoal and ivory and festive and really beautiful paper for specialty paper. And that is what we're gonna be playing with today and our crease pad. So if you were to die cut this die and just die cut it, this is sort of what you get. You can paper piece back in everything, cut it several times and add paper piecing back in. Or as I said, you can do a kiss cut, which is very easy to do. But today I wanted to keep it even simpler than that. And these two papers, well, the specialty paper kind of needs to be handled in a special way. So I'm gonna cut some of it and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what not to do before I show you what to do. So let's just cut a piece of this off. In fact, I'm just gonna take it right down like this. And this is a satin finish. And I'll do the same on my metal finish. It has these this beautiful like metal looking striations going through it. It's really, really pretty. Different than a mirror paper. But let's use both of these. Let's just start with these. So I want to start with showing you what not to do, because sometimes it's more important to tell you what not to do than it is to tell you what to do. So typically when we take a die, any die, and we want to make it almost like an embossing folder, typically we use a squishy and a knock-knock to make that happen. And I'm going to show you what happens when you use specialty paper and a squishy and a knock-knock. So let me just trim this on down. And I'm going to bring over my Big Shot machine. And I have got my base platform in it. Hello, base platform. I'm going to put down my knock knock plate first, then my squishy, then my paper, and then my die. Now typically if this was cardstock, this would be exactly the right sandwich. Or if this were Reveals paper, this would be exactly the right sandwich. But I'm using specialty paper today. So I'm gonna take my Do Not Cut plate, which is just a cutting pad that I try not to cut into too frequently so that it doesn't warp. I'm gonna put it down and I'm gonna send this on through. And I want you to listen for the sound that it makes, okay? I'm gonna be quiet. Okay, did you hear that? So on specialty paper, it put the detail in, but it also tore the paper in several, or cracked the paper in several places. That's because this is a white paper and then this gold is laid over the top with adhesive. So I don't know if you can see that it is kind of cracked and the white is coming through, and that's not what we're looking for. Oh no, that's not what we're looking for. However, if I did want to use this with my squishy and my knock knock on a color core paper, it would be fine because this is a cardstock and not a specialty paper. So I could do just the exact same thing and put it through my machine, and I would have a completely different look. You won't, the cracks and the creases aren't going to be nearly the same. So send it on through. And now I've got it embossed or debossed, kind of depends upon what you want. So on cardstock, it's a little different than on a specialty paper. So how do we get it from not cracking? Well, that's where the crease pad comes in. So if I exchange out my squishy and my knock knock for my thud pad, my crease pad, and again, the SKU number for this is 655092. And it doesn't squishy and it doesn't knock, it kind of thuds. There's a big difference between the squishy and the knock knock and the crease pad. They don't do the same thing. So here I've got my base platform again, and this time I'm going to bring in my solo shim. Comes with your machine. I'm gonna put my crease pad down. I'm gonna put my paper down. I'm gonna put my die down. I'm gonna put my Do Not Cut plate right on top. Here is my sandwich. So my base platform, my solo shim, my crease pad, and there's no top and bottom to the crease pad, however you want to use it, my paper, my die with the ridges face down, and my Do Not Cut. Now when I send it through, it's going to sound dramatically different than what you heard when I sent it through with a squishy and a knock knock. Ready? Right? Basically silent. And when I take it off, there is no cracking. There's no white paper coming through. It's beautiful. It has done a beautiful job. And all my pieces, for the most part, are still together. Now there's some places where even with the crease pad, it has cut through. But for the most part, my pieces are still together, which means I can use this as a solid back. But what happens, you're like, but Stacey, what if those fall out? What happens then? Well, we can fix that. Easy peasy. All we have to do is let's take some of this. We'll do it on both. So I'm gonna take some double-sided adhesive. Now, where we used double-sided adhesive last week, we used it on the top of the paper. And then we peeled off all the little elements to add in our glitter and burnish it on down. And it was super easy and super fast, but the adhesive tape was on the top side, allowing us to have that adhesive tape hold the glitter in place without having to use glue at all. And once the glitter's down, hello, the glitter's down. It's fabulous. This time we're going to be using the adhesive tape more as a sticker. So it's going to be on the bottom side of our paper. So let me take, and I'm using a 5-inch roll of double-sided adhesive. Because you're using it as a sticker, I always recommend that you stick with a company that you know makes really good double-sided adhesive. There's several companies out there that have been around forever and you know you can trust in. Adhesive isn't the thing you skimp on. You want to buy some really pretty flowers at the Dollar Tree? Absolutely. You want to buy maybe some paper or some folios at the dollar store? Absolutely. Adhesive is not the thing that you skimp on. So I've got adhesive on the back side, and I'm just going to cut this on down. And I'll put adhesive on this one too. And the adhesive really does go a long way. There's lots on these rolls. And of course, you can always cut it down to the size you need. I'm just cutting off the extra so it doesn't stick to my cutting plates. Been there, done that. And now I've got 2 ready to go. So 2 ready to go. Now I bring my machine right back on over, and with the crease pad, I build my sandwich. So I start with my base platform, I move to my solo shim, I move to my crease pad. Most people are going to want to try to use their squishy and their knock-knock to do this technique. With specialty paper, it just is not, it's not a good look. So I've got my double-sided tape on the back of my specialty paper. I've got my die. I've got my do not cut plate, and I just send it right on through. Okay, let's see what I've got. It's perfect. All my little pieces are down. None of them are popping up to come out. I have made this beautiful embossing folder out of this. That's what I've done, is made an embossing folder in specialty paper out of a die. But I needed to use my crease pad to get it done so that it didn't do, oh, this was horrible. It didn't do this. I've got it. It's pulling up here and it's pulling up here. It just does not look, this is not a good look. This is what I did when I used it with the squishy and the knock-knock. And then I did it with the crease pad and it came out lovely, but it still cut through a few areas. There's still a few items that might pop out. So the way to take care of that was to just put some double-sided adhesive on the back. So here's one. I have this one. Let's do this one too. Remember our sandwich. Base platform, solo shim. These come with your machine. Crease pad does not come with your machine. It's an extra purchase, but not a lot of money. Paper, specialty opulent paper, sticky on the back. Die and do not cut plate. Now I always put my die at a slight angle. It feeds through the machine a little bit better. You don't get a big ka-thump or speed bump at the end. And I'm just gonna send it on through. It's a fairly easy roll. It's not hard at all. You're not, applying a lot of pressure or having to push it through. And because of that crease pad, that was really meant to be used with steel rule dies. Those thick dies, those thick dies that have a scoring element to them, and you didn't want the paper to cut through with that scoring element. That's really what a crease pad was meant to do. But we do so many other things with it because it has so many purposes, so many functions. And boom. So pretty. And now all I have to do is literally trim them out. So if you are teaching a class, what an easy way for somebody to feel successful. Now all I have to do is trim it out. All my pieces are going to stay together. It looks like an embossing folder. It's on this beautiful opulent paper. Easy to trim out. You could absolutely use a trimmer if you wanted to. And now, not only did it keep everything together, but it's a sticker. I can take the liner off the back, and it's an instant sticker too. Right? Not bad, huh? Let's do out of maybe some of the glitter. So again, if I sent this through with a squishy and a knock-knock like we would normally do to do an embossing, because this is white paper, adhesive, glitter on it, and the glitter doesn't flake off, or it doesn't even feel like glitter. When you send it through with that squishy and the knock-knock, you hear all those creaks and cracks, and you'll see that it is cut through the paper and the white is coming through. I don't want that. So I'm going to take a little bit of my adhesive, put it on the back side, because now I'm using it as a sticker. It's not only holding all of my pieces in place, but it's going to allow me to mat this without having to add any extra adhesive to it at all. I'll be able to mat these onto whatever makes my heart happy. Cut it out. And send it on through. So bring back over my base platform, my solo shim, my crease pad, my paper, my specialty paper, my die. Put it down, and then my do not cut plate. And let's see what we get. Send it on through. And look at the detail. Look at the detail, and no white coming through, no pieces popping up, and look at the detail on that. It's taking a die to the next level, using it in a way that, well, maybe you hadn't thought of using it before. Then I can trim it on out. And I just follow the lines. The lines are right there for you. Again, you can line it up with your trimmer to get it out. And instead of doing paper piecing, you've changed the whole dynamic of this die, of any die, but it does require the crease pad. And I've got this beautiful background without having any real work to do. I've got, it's flat, so it's not high and embossed, which means that I can add some layers to it if I want to lift up. It's not going to be too bulky, but I've got this beautiful design element in it that just looks wonderful. And anybody can do it because it's one roll. It's just one roll through your big shop machine. Just one roll. And unlike the first one where the white was cracking through and pieces are, yeah, see, look at the white's cracking through. That does not work for me. No, no, no. And the second one where the pieces are kind of up there, they're kind of pulling up, it's still cut through a little bit. Adding that adhesive onto the back keeps everything together and makes it an instant sticker. Makes it an instant sticker. Let's see what happens if we do it on, well, maybe I do it on, ooh, that's pretty. Look at how pretty that pink paper is. So let's cut it out. Let's just do it on regular paper. And I am gonna add, well, I'm gonna add the adhesive to the back just to see if it still cuts, if it cuts through. Let's see what happens. So this is part of the festive collection. A little bit of tape. It's down. Cut my paper. Now you would probably be more economical with your tape and not use such a big piece. I'm just a let's go for it kind of girl. I'm gonna bring my, still got a little bit showing right there. I'm just gonna cut that off because it's sticky. It's literally sticky and I don't want it to stick to my cutting pad. There we go. Let's bring my machine over and see what we can do. What was that noise? I'll show you in just a second. Here's my base platform, my solo shim, my crease pad, my paper, and my die. And I just put my die on. I just put my die on the gotcha tool. This is a magnetic tool by me and Sizzix, and it allows you to just keep your dies right on your making space. Keeps them handy for you, easy peasy. It'll even pick them up if they're super small from a distance. Easy peasy, and then it sits right on your maker space. So you never miss where you put your dies. You just literally, there's an old video when we were playing with these and prototyping them of us kind of like throwing a die, you know, we were maybe a foot apart and we were catching the dies with our gotcha tools. They're pretty wonderful. So, and I know oodles of retailers have that as well. Okay, so let's bring this back over. Let me grab that die. I've got my sandwich ready to go. I'm just going to try it on paper to see what happens. And my paper's been backed with adhesive. So think about this as a quick and easy class, maybe for people who have just started die cutting, or gosh, maybe even, well, I think it's for everybody, because I don't know that a lot of people would know that you could use your crease pad to really see, look it, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's got the edge and the detail and the depth, but it stays as a solid piece. And then I can just trim it on out. And then what you do with it kind of is up to you. I might save some of this in case I want to put a star somewhere. Now it's kind of up to me what I want to do with it. I can matte them. Let's see what colors I've got in my festive collection here to matte. I think I'm going to do this one and that. And then I think my gold, I'm going to do the red and this, oh, maybe I'll do that really dark red for the gold. Oh, that's very elegant, isn't it? And for the silver, oh, I think I like the silver on this, on the blue. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play a little bit. Ooh, and then I've got glitter paper to work with. Too much fun. So I think I'm just gonna cut myself a hack of each of these. Giving myself a little bit of extra room. And then all I have to do is peel off the back. Peel off the back. And I've made an instant sticker. Line it up where I want. And trim out. Look, Ma, no mess. No liquid glue, no pieces falling everywhere. Pretty simple and pretty effective. So there's one, and then maybe I take it and mat it with maybe the dark green. And for this, I'm just going to use the same double-sided adhesive, only in a thinner roll. Most manufacturers make their double-sided adhesive in many, many widths. Pull up, pull up, line it up, trim it out, and again I freehand You may be using a trimmer. And then because it's me, too much gold? Is there such a thing? I don't know. Or maybe the satin? The satin's very pretty. I think I'll do that. And your card is made. All you need is a sentiment. And we didn't have to paper piece anything in. Nothing. Now it's all about the matting and the sentiment. But what a fun and easy way for all of you makers to look at your dies in a totally different way. Crease pad is pretty magical, but we're using it for something other than what it was intended for. Done. Sentiment finished. Lovely. Let's see. So let's put this one away and let's bring this one over, and maybe that I like it against the blue. Oh, I don't have to do that, do I? It's a sticker already. Whoop, there we go. I think I'm just gonna trim this down just a little bit. Sticker already, bam, done. And my freehands aren't perfect, but they're handmade and they're made with love. And so I'm okay that they're not exactly perfect. And then maybe against, I think maybe a little bit of the, maybe something in the, just a little bit of that, and then against the white. Oh, up to you. Decisions, options, options aplenty. You would do a better job of sticking down than I am. I'm just going to get it down so I can show you. Just a little bit of that silver. Trim it out. But it's all about that detail in that die. Yes, you can use it as a die cut. Yes, you can use it with a kiss cut. Yes, you can use it paper piecing. But yes, you can also use it as an embossing. Aw, winter, here we come. So I'm gonna do it one more time, just in case, so that you can write the sandwich down if you haven't already written it down, or you save this Take Two Tuesday so you can refer back to it, because it's not just this die that this technique works with. And there are plenty of Sizzix retailers out there that will have the opulent paper. Look at the detail in that, right? So one more time, just to be sure, although I still have this one to do, but one more time, I'm just gonna cut it one more time just to be certain. And, well, I've got this piece right here. So I'm using the satin now. Before I used the metal finish. Now I've got the satin. Some double-sided adhesive on the back. Keeps everything together and makes it an instant sticker. Don't skimp on the adhesive. Save elsewhere, you know, save elsewhere. Not on adhesive. Ooh, I think I have to sneeze. No, no, no. Maybe? Okay, die. Right off my gotcha tool. So I'm not using a squishy, and I'm not using a knock-knock, because what it did to my poor paper was not happiness. No, 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 not happiness. I am using my base platform, my solo shim, my crease pad, my paper with adhesive on the back, my die, my do not cut plate, or a cut plate. It doesn't really matter because you're not actually cutting into anything. It just helps it run a little smoother through. And line it all up, square it all up, send it on through. Super easy roll. And bam. No white. That's what we're looking for. Trim it on out and make magic out of it. Find the beautiful paper you want to mat it onto. The adhesive is already there. It's keeping everything in place and acting as your adhesive to do your mat. Now I might save some of this because I could cut a sentiment out of these. I would probably save that. That's me. Bring over my gotcha tool and just pick it right on up. Take the liner off the back. Zoop. Put it right on down. And bam. Fun, simple, easy, effective, and lets you get through oodles of Christmas cards fast. All you have to do is figure out what you want to mat them with. And if you want to put a star, little bit of adhesive. Right on the back side. Cut it out. Grab the matting star, layering star that it comes with. And roll it on through. So for this, I don't need my crease pad because I'm not trying to emboss. I do want to die cut. So I'll bring over my cut plate. And put that right on down and send it on through. Now I've got a star sticker ready to go. I could bring over my gold that has some adhesive still on it. Cut out a piece. Put it on. Send it on through. Now I've got a gold star sticker. All ready to go. And I could take a little piece of the red. And put just a little piece of tape behind it. Just a little piece. And do a red star. Easy way to make fast and quick stickers, die cuts. Make them that you don't have to add adhesive after the fact. No wet glue, no fuss, no muss. And send it on through. I can take the red and the green and the red and the gold. Take the liner off, and instant sticker it is. It's all about options and using the right tool for the right technique. And I think that the crease pad is an underutilized, amazing tool. I just need to mat this one in red, but I won't, not now. You get the idea, and you see how simple they are to do. Add your sentiment, and you're good to go. So today we used my Star Bright, the Cosmopolitan Star Bright Sizzix Die, July release by me, Stacey Park. You'll always know it's me because if you see that teal going down the edge, hello, that's me. We used this and we used our crease pad to make it all happen. And we played with festive paper and opulent paper. Sizzix makes the most beautiful papers. The festive paper is beautiful. The opulent paper is beautiful. This is all their festive cardstock. Just lovely. And then I showed you the opulent, which again, it's just absolutely beautiful, and it comes in so many different packs. But it is all specialty paper, and there's always 5 different finishes, 10 sheets each, 50 sheets total, and an amazing, amazing value. So let's bring over some samples that we've done. So here, using that as almost like an embossing folder. We did these today, which I will finish. This one was done paper piecing, so traditional paper piecing. Here we've done with the silver opulent glitter. And here we've done with that beautiful white shimmery, and it's just the right detail that it puts in. Not too much, not too little. It's just a little wink of something. And then this is a Kiss Cut glitter that we did last week. And here is with a Kiss Cut and embossing powder. All I need to do is add the sentiment. And then I have all of these to still play with and put together. All of these to put together and play with. So, oh, and I have these two. Love these two. Love this one. This is a combination of microfine glitter and embossing powder. So did you learn a little bit more about a crease pad today? Maybe you didn't even know Sizzix had a crease pad. But what it does with dies, when used in a way that's a little different than what it was intended to do, really does make beautiful things happen. Yeah, I gotta cut that one out too and do something with them. I gotta do something with it. It's beautiful. A little bit of adhesive tape on the back, and bam, you are good to go. Cut your mats, roll these through your Big Shot machine. You can have 20 of them rolled through in 20 minutes, and another 20 minutes putting them down onto, because the adhesive's already on it, another 20 minutes putting it down to your mats, and you are done. Christmas doesn't have to be like, it can be kept simple and still look so beautiful. It really can. It can be done affordably, and it can be done with love, and it can be done with a technique you might not have even known about. So, I am Stacey. I am a licensed designer for Sizzix Jacquard and Couture Creations. I do hope that I was able to show you something new today, and that you find a local independent retailer, whether it be a brick and mortar or online, that is carrying this product. Go support them and enjoy. Until next time, I will see you next Tuesday for, I haven't decided what I'm gonna do next Tuesday. You never know. But I think I'll keep it Christmas related a little bit longer. We'll see. It'll be a surprise. Join me next Tuesday when we do something fun and creative and inventive and really made to make you feel really great about your makes, really great about your crafting. All right, you guys, I'll see you later. Toodles.